welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode on Be the Change, I want to talk about not missing the forest for the trees. And what that means is to not focus so much on where you are now and the details that you lose sight of the bigger picture. And in order to keep in mind the bigger picture, while also moving ahead day to day, what we're going to do is build in building blocks. These building blocks are going to have two features. So the two steps that we're going to look at to determine where these blocks fit as far as when the next step is to work a little bit ahead and keep an eye out for the big picture, which the big picture is your general vision of what you want for your life or your business or whatever it is that you are changing. So the two components of each block are going to be the time and where it's going to fit in. It may fit in one time, it may fit in multiple times, or a variation of it might fit in different places. And then what is the subject? What is it about? And different people have different organizational methods. You may not have ever organized anything other than just keeping track of dates on a calendar, but it doesn't matter. You're going to create this how it best works out for you, knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, and by strengths and weaknesses, it's your own personal attributes, but also what time allows and what you can do with the resources in every area that you have as you move forward. Here are the things that I want you to consider. You are determining which are the building blocks that are going to work for you. Time. How much time are you devoting now? If this is something that you are going to take from a hobby to a full-time career, obviously your time is going to gradually move over until a large part of your time that you have spent doing something else is now going to be devoted on this. What are the natural parts for you to determine when you can take another step towards what this particular goal is? So time, money. What kinds of money are going to be required? Is it money just for the hobby, just for the project? Or is it money that's going to make this venture turn into something that you can now live on and support your family? Or if you are looking at a health goal or a personal goal for your house, what is the money that's going to be required? And can it be spent at certain times to save you money? So see how those two kind of go together? People that are going to participate with you, people that are impacted by what you're doing. How are people going to figure into this scenario? Why and where and when? Space. Do you need physical space? Do you need a bigger space? Do you need a separate space? If you're going into a woodworking business, do you need a shop? If you are going into some type of buy-sell online business, do you need a storage place? Do you need an exercise space in your house if you're going to start doing some type of exercise? If you're going to start a yoga practice, is it going to be in your house or out of your house? What type of space is needed? On the other hand, if you have a large family or you have a big company and a lot of things going on and you need some dedicated research time, maybe research on your new project or new venture is what you have started on this Be the Change. And maybe you have realized, I can't do what I need to do in the time I have allotted with all of this stuff going on. So maybe you need to pick up and go to a library. Maybe you need to look into a co-working space. Or if you're doing something for your job or your company at the office, maybe you need to shut your door. Maybe you need to have a don't disturb me during these particular times. And that will help you get where you're going. Tools. Now, money's a tool, but there are other kinds of tools. What kinds of tools do you need for this? Are you going to need physical equipment? Are you going to need information? Are you going to need knowledge? If it's knowledge, is it something that you can go and find out about on your own? Can you look at YouTube videos? Can you research online? Do you need to go to the library? Do you need to go to a specialist? Do you need to take a class? Or how much time, if you think you need to take a class or learn something, how much time and energy is that going to take? Would you be better off, and are there people available that you can hire, either as a consultant or on a per project basis? You need to weigh that and determine which one is best for you. Other kinds of help. We've talked about people and resources and money. What other kinds of help? Is it networking? Is it to get an introduction to someone? If you do have to take a class and that's the best thing for you to do, how do you go about applying? Do you need references? Is there someone you know who can help make that path for you, or help you identify that path? And general knowledge. What are the areas that you are going to cover? What do you know? What do you not know? And it is an old saying, but it's true. We don't always know what we don't know. And especially when you're getting into something new, is there an apprenticeship that you can work into? Is there someone doing something similar, either in your same subject matter or in a different subject matter, but you think that you could maybe learn from them? Can you get a shadow experience with them? If it's in your own company, can you go to another department or another person and ask them for help? If it is a personal fitness goal, is there someone you know in your circle of friends who you think has a secret sauce? Is there a class you can go to with them? Can you take them out for a cup of coffee? Ask them how they do it. If someone is a busy mom and yet they have a side gig that seems to be gaining speed and you want to do that, can you meet with them and talk to them about how they got started? Can they give you a few tips? Is there some resource that they found? If there's a resource that you have found that you are kind of following as a template or as an example and trying to find your way, has anyone else followed that before to success? Do you have questions? Are there other avenues that you might look into? So all of these different things are part of what you'll determine as your building blocks, because you're going to need a certain kind of knowledge. Why? At what part of the project or the endeavor or your change is that needed? And then work backwards. Okay, I'm going to need this and I'm not sure what it is, so there are other things that are going to go with it. I need to allow enough space so that I can gather that either on my own or through others. So arrange that. Draw it out. I work best by some type of visual. Draw it out. And is your time frame realistic? You can't lose 40 pounds in 2 weeks without taking a leg off or something. So are your expectations realistic for you? Not for me, but for you. And like we said in the other video, leave some room for magic. You've put it out there, you've made some feelers. You may have someone that you have contacted for a class or for some consultation. They may come up with someone who's looking for an internship, who has the information, who has some skills, who can come and help you for a time. Maybe you can help them get credit for a class. You don't have to pay them and they help you. How great is that? So the earlier you know the landscape and the general stepping stones and where those are going to be needed by, the earlier you can start investigating some of these, making a phone call, making an easy inquiry, putting that out there that that's what is coming next for you. And you'll find out by people reaching back to you in ways that might be really unexpected and absolutely wonderfully helpful for you. But we don't want you to get too bogged down on what you are doing this 5 minutes that you don't keep an eye on the big picture. It's something that you've wanted to do, and as it's developing, you want to make it doable and also manageable. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, leave me a thumbs up, leave any comments or questions below. Subscribe to see the other videos. Share this with someone who you think it might benefit, who's come to you a couple of times and wanted to figure something out and you didn't quite know how to explain the big picture to them. This might help. And subscribe to see our other videos and come back and see me next time. Thanks for watching.